Hey everyone, in this video let's talk about who is this course for and what technical skills you will need. To be comfortable with this course, you are gonna need to know basics, right? So we are not gonna learn basics of HTML, CSS, jQuery. You should be comfortable with basic PHP, with object-oriented PHP, like how to create classes, writing simple methods, functions, how to include files, how to load files. So you need to know this because we are not gonna learn about that. I can briefly mention about this in the course, but I'm not gonna focus too much on that. So you need to be familiar with conditional statements, with WordPress hooks, how WordPress actions and filters work, and for example, how to enqueue also assets and scripts in WordPress. Then you will need also to know basics of WordPress API, like for example, queries, because we are gonna write queries. So you need to understand what are queries, what is metadata. So you need to be comfortable to understand the syntax, because I'm not gonna talk too much in details about what this means exactly, because this course is not about basics. It's not about basics of PHP or basics of HTML. It's about how you use these basics to create blocks and to create full set editing websites. So you are gonna need to know this upfront. You will also need to know basics of JavaScript and jQuery. So you need to be comfortable to write functions in jQuery. You need to be familiar a little bit with Ajax, how Ajax works, about variables, of course, conditional statements, like if, else. Then you also need basic JavaScript knowledge, of course. So, and for our block development, we will be using React, but I want to emphasize that we are not going to be using advanced React, like advanced hooks and filters of React. We will stick with WordPress native controls and hooks that WordPress provides. We will discuss briefly about how all this works in WordPress, about how WordPress handles attributes, and we'll create also controls and talk about that. So basically, components in React and basic React syntax like basic hooks is highly recommended. If you don't know any of that, but you still want to proceed with this course, you can try to. It's going to be challenging for you, but I just want to emphasize that we are not going to talk about these basics too much. We will be just writing code together, and I'm going to briefly explain what this code does, and then you should be familiar with all of that. So basically, that's what you're going to need, right? So of course, we are not going to talk about HTML, Sass, and CSS, because these are very, very basic things. And I'm going to briefly mention about this, and we will be using some Sass, right, to style our blocks. But I'm not going to go in details too much about this. So you need to have, number one, basic knowledge of PHP, understanding object-oriented PHP, also basic object-oriented PHP. What are classes? How to access methods and variables in classes. Then you are going to need a basic understanding of JavaScript, jQuery, and React. So again, basic knowledge of these languages and libraries. So with React, you don't need to be expert, just to understand some fundamentals. And then, of course, you're going to need to know basic WordPress APIs, like, for example, how WordPress query work, right? Because we are going to be using this, and also I'm not going to talk about how query works. There's a lot of materials and resources about this. I'm going to briefly mention about this, but you should be comfortable knowing about these things. Also, basic WordPress security practices like escaping, for example, are also highly recommended. So that's basically it, right? So you're going to need these fundamentals in order to proceed with this course. So if you have any questions, just leave it in comments, and I'll be glad to answer it. And see you in the next lesson. Bye.